I want to thank you for the time today. I know how precious time is in a short business meeting like this. And it's apropos that Arizona is the first personal event of my exploratory committee looking at the presidential run. I say apropos because almost 2 decades ago, it was an Arizona Libertarian, my brother, that introduced me to the Libertarian Party. So I was just serendipitous almost to find that Arizona State Convention would be the very first that I would address in seeking the nomination. Possibly. Been a rough couple of days trying to get everything started. I wasn't feeling well. And I kept going over and over in my head, what am I going to say to a room full of people? Some that I know. I have great friends here. I want to wish your new Minister of Propaganda, a good friend of mine, a happy birthday today. But I had lost my focus, kind of, what we've always said our campaign's going to be about. I got wrapped up in me. For a couple days there, I actually got the idea this was about me. And it made me sick. I knew, I guess subconsciously I knew that that was not what I was trying to do. This is not about Wrights. And what brought that back home were things that happened this morning as I was preparing to come here. First thing I did is I got up, I turned on my computer and checked my email. I found out that my response to President Obama's State of the Union address was being spotlighted on the front page of antiwar.com. Now, for those of you that didn't see it, the title of that piece was "The State of the Union is Still a State of War." And I was very disappointed that it was kind of glossed over in those State of the Union remarks. Democrats and Republicans kind of want us to forget the death that they spread in this country and outside of this country. Well, the way I found out that I was on the front page of antiwar.com was I had a message in my inbox from a man from Norway. And it was a message to thank me. And he wasn't thanking me because I was running for president. As far as I can tell from his email, he doesn't even know that I'm thinking about running for president. But he thanked me for the message. And this man can't vote for me even if he doesn't run for president. He doesn't care about the politics of America. He cares about the war. And he wanted to thank me for that message. So, I'm starting to feel pretty good now. I'm like, yeah, okay. Get my focus back. This is about the message, stop all the wars. So I walked outside. I was waiting for my campaign manager to come out and tell me what to do next. And my brother's neighbor came walking over. And I've spoken to Henry a number of times, lifelong Republican. And I had given him the honor of giving him the first brochure that you just received. He came up to me and he complimented me on my suit. I don't think he'd ever seen me gussied up. He said, I reread your pamphlet last night. He says, I want you to know I'm going to donate to your campaign. This is a lifetime Republican. He said, because I agreed with everything you said in there. And I went about to take a few minutes to explain to him that the Republican Party had left him. And that's where a lot of people are today. This message resonates outside of this party. The 2 people I've talked to today so far, neither one of them even thought about being libertarians, but they liked this message. We've got to stop the wars. Everything is tied in together. Economics. We've got to stop spending on the top 3 budget items. I mean, you can do away with all the pork. You can do away with all the special interests and everything. You get rid of all of it, and your grandchildren will still be going into debt because of Medicare, Social Security, and the military. War on drugs. War on terrorism. War on ignorance. War on poverty. We got a war for everything. We've been fighting a war on poverty since the 60s, and we still got poor people in this country. We've been fighting a war on ignorance since the 70s, created the Federal Bureau of Education. Our children still can't read. We've been battling the demon drugs for decades. And all we've done is put more nonviolent people in prison than any other nation on the face of the earth, and funded God knows what all by making it a lucrative industry because it's illegal. We've got to stop the wars. in order to bring this country back to a stable position economically and morally, in my opinion. There's just too much that we do going around the world and the nation, in our nation. Warring against our own people, warring against other people, everything. It's in our rhetoric. The president turns everything into a war. You know, if you don't agree with him, he's at war with you. You're an enemy combatant. This is what needs to stop. And this needs to be the message of the Libertarian Party. I don't care who the presidential nominee winds up being in 2012. This should be the message that that candidate carries on into the election and to the American people. This is what it needs to be. And that's my intent. Not to let myself slip back into being focused on me or thinking that this is my show. This is the Libertarian Party show. And I love coming here today and seeing Libertarian stuff done at a Libertarian convention. Imagine that. Doing something. I mean, that's great. And to be here with the people that are making it happen in Arizona is a great honor. So I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time. I will be taking something from Arizona with me as I go out on the campaign trail. Or more specifically, something I'll borrow from Mr. Hancock. Freedom is the answer. So what are the questions? Mr. Hess.
Would you advocate a war on drugs?
Well, see, now you're trying to make me go back to war. And everybody I've talked to so far has said, this is one of the things, of course, those of you that know me know I've spent 6 years, 3 terms on the National Committee. I served 2 terms as an at-large member of the National Committee. I served 1 term as the vice chair of the National Committee. I have a reputation of being a warrior. That's why frankly, why I've got involved in everything I've done in the Libertarian Party was because of some sort of war. Something was going on I had to fight for. So yeah, I'm known as a warrior. And it may sound odd for a warrior to stand before you and preach peace to you. But this is where war begins to end. Right inside here. I know how it is to get up every day angry. Wake up just angry, full of rage over something, and go to war. Lay down and sleep for 4 or 5 hours, get up and do it all over again the next day, every day, going to war. And that's why it says on the front of my brochure, I am not at war. And if enough of us say it, they can't have them anymore.